Hello, hello, everyone. Welcome to Painting with Shaney. We are going to be continuing on our Bugbear adventure. Let me get this set up. I just got done doing a raid in Destiny 2, so just did a little bit of a different setup. I hope you are having a lovely weekend. So just to show you what we worked on last weekend, I'm actually going to turn my music down a little bit. If you want if the music up higher or down, just let me know and I will fix that up for you folks. All right. So, we've been working on this lovely Bugbear warlock sorceress. I did like a dark burgundy on the cloak, and then I was kind of experimenting because if you look at the original, it's very like almost like orangey metallic color. But I didn't want to be so bright. I wanted the cloak to be a little bit brighter, so I went with the red and yellow there. I think I'm gonna try and maybe do a light brown on the cloak, just because sometimes you don't know how paint is going to settle until it's dried. So this one's pretty much done, and then I just got to do details on hair and stuff. But once I fix up the cloak there, and then I'm going to do the fire effect, which I think I'm going to use a watered down version of this Cassandora yellow to try and get that like opaque, if that's the correct word. And then while that is kind of settling, I'm going to do most of these packs, as you can kind of see, come in two. So I'm going to start this guy right here. He seems to be either a fighter, you could say, or a barbarian Bugbear, but not your typical Bugbear in as far as what you see in the monster manual. So I'm pretty stoked. He's just, I don't know, he's got more character, definitely a bigger grin. And I'll probably doing some browns with some greens I was kind of feeling. So yeah, let's get started. But what I think I'm going to do first is make sure to glue this guy to the base. So that is ready to go. By the time I get done with some of the details on the sorcerer, I don't expect to finish both of them, but I definitely do expect to finish the sorcerer tonight. And I'm just gonna check something real quick with my groups. Right before I started, I was standing up getting all my paints ready, and I have a few cat towers right here to my right, and I have 3 cats. One of them newly acquired / born in 2020. But my first 2, they're sisters, Aria and Willow. Well, Willow is kind of the one that really, really sticks close to me no matter where I am. Anyway, so I stood up. I have these 2 cat towers. I thought she was there, but when I stood up, she took my chair. And then when I was sitting down for stream, for the first time, I'm usually really good about knowing where she is, but for the first time, I put maybe 90% of my weight on her, and I feel super bad. She ran away. She didn't yell or anything, but still doesn't make me feel any less horrible of a cat mom. And that was literally 30 seconds. I had 30 seconds left on my counter before we started, and she was just like, bah! Well, she didn't, bah! I bah! All right. So, move my phone over here. We got the water. We got our napkins. And I wanted to do a light brown. Do I have a lighter brown than this? That's a pink one. What is this? Warrior skin. Evil flesh. You're probably wondering what that little corner is. It's the corner of the mount that I have the camera on. There we go. Oh, is this making a shadow now? What's making a shadow? Is this? Something's making a shadow. That seems pretty good. That seems okay. All right. Every week I feel like I am adjusting, readjusting my setup. Okay. So dry brush thing where you put like a little bit of paint on and then you get like 90% of it off. I'm gonna test this out. Hoping to tone down the yellow a little bit. I don't think this is bright enough. This is just gonna wash out the... Trying to be resourceful and like use these napkins we've had, but we'll see how long these last. Okay. Yeah, this is already like taking away the yellow. I just didn't like the look of it. It kind of looks like she had like rotten eggs thrown on her. I don't know. Oh yeah, that already looks like 10 times better to me than it did before. And it's interesting because this is the actual paint that I used for her skin color. Which can happen sometimes. Oh shit. Oh. Yeah. Hey! What's up, Arfo? Yeah. I'll show you some of the other minis I've done. I don't know if you play D&D at all, but this guy's a beholder. He's one of my faves. And then, of course, a old school owlbear. And then you can kind of see it, I think. Maybe not. Oh, there's a bookshelf right there of all the different kind of minis that I worked on. Here's one of my OG characters, OC, if you will. Little dwarf cleric that hopefully I'll be able to play her again someday. But yeah. Do you play D&D as well? Oh no! I have a janky setup with this spare web camera. There we go. Literally have tape. Trying to secure this sucker. Scotch tape. There we go. I know, right? Whatever gets it going. There we go. Cool. Okay. Yeah, I'll be finishing. I was working on her last week. I'm trying not to stay up too late doing these things now because I literally was just to get them done. But here's the other owlbear boy. Not owlbear. Bugbear, excuse me, boy I'll be working on tonight. I really like this set because it's not your typical Bugbear set. You know, when you go to stores and stuff, they're selling like the generic, oh, like you have to make your tribes essentially. Like here's all the 6 goblins, they all look the same or whatever, but they're all like fighters and stuff. But this pack, you know, has this really cool like wizard, sorcerer, arcane caster. And this guy, he's still like a fighter, but he's more like a barbarian. I don't know. I liked the feel of it. So I knew I would be finishing this one up tonight. I'm actually going to start on some shadowing after I do the staff a little bit more and details, and then while that's drying I can start this guy over here. Yeah. All right. Do I want to use that same one, or do you want to use... Let's use this guy. Gosh darn it. Okay. She's definitely looking a little bit more rustic. Just did some wet brushing, excuse me, using some paint that has been watered down to get all the cracks and crevices. And then once that's dried, I will go over it again, probably with a detail brush, to kind of like light up the ridges. So the eye catches the ridges more, and the eye like has space between the ridges and the depth. Now to start this boy with the base colors. If you're still there, Arfo, I don't know how much painting you've done, but typically with minis, you want to start painting from the inside out, so it's a lot easier. So I usually, a good point is usually the chest of whatever mini that you're working on. So yeah. Fairly simple. I think I'm going to go with a good leather armor. I'm going to go with a lighter color this time. Learn from my mistakes. I tend to go dark and then try to make my way back from it, and I always fail. But it really depends on the mini. The owlbear, because of the size, the owlbear took me about 5 hours, start to finish. A couple breaks, obviously, in between. This guy, if I were to push through tonight, I could probably get him done in 3-ish hours. I don't want to stay up too late. And you know, that's with like the basic details and stuff. But you get faster and faster. The more practice you get, but it also depends on how detailed the mini is too, and how much effort you want to put into it. So like these guys are my basic fighters. This is probably honestly my least favorite that I've done in a really long time. The colors aren't really hitting the way I want it to. I'm probably going to do some white highlights, but you know, that's practice. We'll see how this boy turns out. But yeah, I would say I probably average between 3 to 6 hours depending on the mini from start to finish. Sometimes it takes a while just because the paint needs to dry between steps. So like, for example, wet brushing, right? I just doused that thing with a bunch of wet paint essentially. This stuff is acrylic, so if I'm doing details like the eyes and I want like a little bit on my brush, the time it takes for me to dip it in the pot and go to the eyes, usually it's dry. You have to be pretty quick on that. But when you do wet brushing, here's what I'm using. You can kind of see the liquid sloshing around in there. This stuff, you want to, before you start doing any other colors on top of the mini, you want to make sure that dries. Otherwise, hello. Otherwise your paint is gonna mix, and also you're using like a thicker paint with a thinner paint. It just becomes kind of a mess. So yeah. Do I want this one? I don't know. We have here what is Illusionary Box. Yes, we should. However, I don't know who I'm talking to because Twitch and names and things. I don't think this is Doug, because I think Doug has a different one. I know! Laugh at me, yes, please. Oh, you did. So it is Doug. Question mark. Ah, I need a lighter brown. Is this too light? Oh, maybe this one. This is kind of light. I think this is the one that always I get screwed up with. That's the skin. This is a bone color. It'd be kind of fun to do like a bone just... Oh wait, are you brown? Nope, you're gold. Dang it. Every once in a while, I will organize my paints and I will feel good about it. And then slowly over time, it just dissolves into chaos. Aha! I'll use this one. I will use this one for the base. Let's see. Oh yeah, thanks. Thanks, Arfo. Good luck with your stream. Get all the kills. Shoot. Oh, here's a good hint. Do we play am I a DM for you? That's a good hint. Oh. Are we playing tomorrow? Are you an illusionary prince is what I should say. Because like if this is who I think it is, all of your do you want me to say your real name? Or would you rather me not? Okay. Well, winner is DWIGHT. A. What do we win? I'm like 95% sure. I assume your dance is like this. Dance like that. All right. It's like we've hung out a lot or something. All right. What are you up to, friend? How's your night going? Sorry, I wanted a better brush. Oh, school just started back up, huh? I feel for you. It's weird to think that I've been out of school for like 3 years now. Almost 4, because I think I officially got my degree, my master's in 2017, I think is the final date. Thanks, friend. What year is this for you in school? Yeah, because I know you said that you wanted to go study abroad if and when the borders open back up. What's this guy wearing? This is interesting, Dwight. He's got like leather armor on, but then he's got like, I can see his skin, and he's got wraps, and then he's got like this weird, okay, that is his fur. Interesting. I don't know, he's got like these weird bracer wraps that are also metal, question mark? It's a bulky boy. That's for sure. Are you still wanting to go to Germany to see a certain someone? On his arms, it's like he's got, you know, a chest piece, shoulder pauldrons, exposed arms, but then it's got like, it comes down, and he's got wraps, and then on top of the wraps, he's got like some sort of like metal something. It's not like a bracer. I don't know. It kind of is like a bracer. It's interesting. Hi, Arya. Bye, Arya. The Knoll Gang. Oh, yeah. Probably after this one, honestly. The Knolls are big. I'm definitely on a monster kick, that's for sure. Would you say Knolls are your favorite race currently? Kalistar. Remind me what the Kalistar again? I feel like we talked about that recently. Did we talk about that? Right. Okay. And obviously, Eberron is your favorite setting. I know you have your heart set on moving to Germany, but like I have a dream that you'll at least be around until we get thoughts to level 20 and like fully complete the campaign. That is my wish. And you guys are doing milestones, so you know, you guys are probably going to level up faster. Well, you're not probably. You are going to level up faster than if we weren't doing milestones. We were just doing XP. I saw something that they're about to announce like their next book soon. I'm very curious. Do you have any guesses? You think a setting book and not a campaign book? Because they just did a rhyme with the Frost Maiden? I'm very curious, like, if it'll be Spelljammer. But I feel like Spelljammer is so close to Eberron, but you could correct me for sure. I've never played it, but just, I guess, going off sound and theme and sound meaning like how the name Spelljammer sounds in comparison to Eberron. Just high fantasy, high magic setting. High technology setting. Because Sorkos obviously high magic. I just mean like the technology, etc., etc. But I'm not. I am not like. I'm not claiming, nor I know I'm not like an official expert on settings. Honestly, all that I know about Spelljammer and Eberron is through you and like other friends who have talked about it. I haven't looked into it too much because I don't have the bandwidth. Which, okay, they've been coming out with a lot of vehicle rules, so I don't think it would be that far-fetched to say, or that much of a jump to think that Spelljammer would be the next step. Because I think the first big release of vehicle rules was Saltmarsh with the boats. You're right. In the Descent to Avernus. Well, maybe that's the next one. God, this brush is shite. I feel like the announcement has to be soon. The Critical Role Discord people have been kind of talking about it this last week, which is why it was even on my radar. Not sure if it was on your radar. Didn't you mention that you were, well, I guess it wouldn't have happened, pandemic and all, but didn't you say you started like a D&D group at your work with some of your mentees? I might be misremembering. That so sucks, Dwight. I'm so sorry. Are those kids still around, or did they graduate? Question mark. Yeah, that makes sense. Life goes on in different ways. Honestly, I don't know if you ever played it when it came out a couple years ago, but Stardew Valley I picked back up. Which when I stop at like around, we'll say like 9:30, 10, I'll probably pop over and or call these good, let them dry until next week, and start playing Stardew Valley. I also, I'm not sure if I've talked to you about this yet, but I started playing Destiny 2 again as well, because a friend of mine had like a whole group going for the new release, and I've been grinding because it's a good like turn off your brain and grind game. And the person who was on here earlier, Arfo, I met through that raid group, and he's pretty great. He lives back east, I believe. Yeah. I would say I pretty much bounce between right now, as of right now, Stardew Valley and Destiny. I need to go back to Valhalla. And then Tuesday I'll be playing my second session of uh BioShock 2. Um I mean, it's I think it's improved. I played the original and I'm having a lot of fun with it. I think there's always going to be a little of like, this gun is better, that gun is better, but and this class is better, that class is better, but overall it's a lot of fun. I mean, as long as you like the grind or just kind of like, no, I don't know. I don't really mess around with like PvP stuff. I think that's where a lot of drama lies, is like PvP and Crucible and people just wanting to like kill each. I don't know. That's not where I find my joy. I like working together. I like that it's like a cooperative type thing. So I like working with my friends or just the random matching to like get to X school. So, oh yeah, see. But that's the thing. It's not old. Like they have new. It's like, I don't know if you've ever played Overwatch. Like they keep coming out with new seasons. So there's like 30 days left in this season, and the power cap is the highest it's ever been, and then they're going to increase it. I want to say by like 20 or 30 points. So there's going to be people grinding again with different strikes and like a whole other theme and more content. I think that was my like, it was my biggest complaint, and I was not alone when it came to Destiny 1, which was like, oh, it took you less than 20 hours to get through the main campaign, and then to grind and become quote unquote good and get like the good drops, which are already random. You have to do like the same strike over and over. You have to do X over and over. You're doing the same downies over and over. But I think Destiny as a world has grown so much where, yeah, there's still like some of the same strikes and stuff, but there's so many different subclasses. There's so many different outfits, armor. Like, you can come back to it, and I've played over 100 hours now, and I haven't unlocked everything. I'm power wise, I'm pretty high up there, but I'm like grinding to get the things that I need to unlock to make my gear masterwork level. And I have never done a raid, and I did my very, very first raid a couple weeks ago with that group that I was just talking about. And it was a lot of fun. Like, I feel like I if there was a whole section on achievement unlocks as a nerd, I unlocked that achievement. And yeah, it was a lot of fun. Took like 4.5 hours to do, but you know what? I ran a raid today right before stream. I was gonna start early, and we did it in less than an hour, so I got better. But yeah. Yeah, PvP drama. I'm not down for PvP. Like, Titans rule PvP. I don't like killing other players. That's just not my jam. Yeah, PvP, it's like you're either taken out by a sniper or like a shotgun, or the Titan has this big buff where they basically become a bulldozer, and any other class just doesn't last. The grind is so hard, totally, but I think they changed the grind enough that it's like, before, I remember in Destiny 1, you had to really grind for rare materials. And technically you still have to grind for rare materials in Destiny 2, but now you have vendors who share said rare materials. So they're, rather than getting them, there's basically multiple ways to get the rare materials. You don't just get them on random drops. You just have other venues to go to, or vendors. So I am a hunter main. That was just something I chose in the very, very beginning. But I have since learned that you at least want to have 2 different characters going. If you have the time and dedication, you want 3. And that's because there's algorithms running in the game. So if I were just to do the one character, you kind of peak essentially with the random drops that you get in gear. But the best way to play it is like, okay, so say you have 3 characters, right? Hunter, Warlock, Titan, and in that order. And you played your Hunter this week. The next week, or even the next day, or you want to play the least played one, which would be the Titan in that example, and then you just start rotating through. And that way, that's like the fastest way to level up, is to always play the least played, and like just keep going through everything. And that way you can beat the algorithm and start getting better drops, because you can share weapons. So you can continually switch out weapons to your different characters and always have like your favorite weapons that you always play with. But you can't share armor, because armor is class specific. But in switching out your character so much, you keep beating the algorithm to get better drops. So gotcha. See, I'm surprised you didn't play Warlock. I feel like that would be your jam. Also, they have like honestly the best looking armor, hands down. Hunter's armor has always fucking sucked. And what's also nice, before you had, because as far as like customization to armor, you always had to go to a specific vendor, and you could only change your armor at that vendor at the tower. And now you can change it whenever, and there's literally hundreds of shades. And yeah, so there's just a ton of content, and Destiny 2 is going to be rolling for the next 2 years, at least to 2022, until they get to Destiny 3. But there's like 4 or 5 seasons that are coming. See, I don't know. Aesthetically speaking, I like the Warlock better. I like the futuristic, like, paramilitary look. I don't know. Well, it's more like, what's the word I'm looking for? It's not that they're free. It's that they're more accessible. Meaning, like, you can unlock them from certain gear and stuff, but they take, like, 250 GP. And you can go into your menu, and you can reacquire them. And you can just keep reacquiring them. And they're basically, like, $1 shade once you unlock them. Rather than having to go, like, cross your fingers, go to the vendor, and hope that they have the shade that you want that you can reacquire. So... You know what? I'm going to make the bracers look kind of shiny, because they do kind of look special. Yeah, if you ever decide to play Destiny again, let me know. I play on PC. Rumor has it that cross play will be coming soon, though. Well, see, it's funny. I play with PC, but I don't play keyboard. I have my PS4 controller. My PC is just my beast right now, so because this is a brand new PC. I think I mentioned I got a few months back for streaming. Yeah, I'm hella happy with it. It's an NZXT. Lots of memory, lots of RAM. Most recent, or one of the most recent graphics cards, or a good graphics card. No muss, no fuss kind of a deal. I hope you do, bud. I'd love to stream with you. Play some games with you online. It'd be a lot of fun. Play D&D online together, too. When you're in Germany? Although I don't know what the time difference, maybe we could get that working, question mark? The creepy thing is I can hear you say thank you in my head. In the way that you say thank you. I shouldn't say creepy. I like it. Okay. So I would probably just have to get up early. Or we'd play like... If you wanted an evening stream, I would be up at like noon. It'd be like a noon stream online or on the weekend or something like that. So it's doable. You like the gold? Why am I not surprised? I should just call you Obsidian. Yeah, this is probably like one of my favorite metallic paints, honestly. And I'm so pissed because I actually spilt a little bit of it. But metallic paint can be really hard because it can be super thin. And it just looks like you're putting glitter on the mini. No, it's a bugbear. It's a beast. It's a beefy bugbear. See? That's why I need to paint his hair brown, but that's why I was painting his arm hair right there brown because that's, yeah, it's his fur. You know what? No. I'm going to paint that a darker brown. Yeah, no worries, man. I appreciate the chatter, and good luck on your homework if you have to peace out at some point. But what kind of homework are you working on? Hopefully something not mind-numbing. You know what? I promise you this. Before you move to Germany, you will play your knoll at least once. At least once before you move. Oh, you know. I know things. I don't know if you're a Doctor Who fan, but spoilers, darling. Oh, you're afraid? Because it's scary, or because you think you'll get sucked in to like another fandom? There are some pretty freaking creepy episodes on it. I will say that much. It is a show that you kind of like certain episodes you have to muscle through. And I feel like their storylines are definitely like a slow build. I have not, but I know the show you speak of at least. It's that horse head show. Is the comedy kind of slapsticky? Because I get the feeling that it is. Like Beavis and Butthead type comedy. Stupid for stupid's sake. Crude humor sometimes, most of the time. Physical comedy is funny. You say any... Basically, I think the saying comes from, like, you say anything and see what sticks. Oh, Beavis and Butthead is a good example of slapstick. South Park can be kind of slapstick sometimes. Like anything goes. Lots of dick and butt jokes. Physical comedy is a big part of it. South Park can be kind of slapsticky sometimes. Basically, saying crude things, lots of crude things. I think the saying comes from like saying anything to like throwing words out there and seeing what sticks on the wall that becomes phony. It's been around for a hot second, though. Right? Like, I'm pretty sure, correct me if I'm wrong, it's a Netflix show? Pretty sure it's a Netflix show. Damn, 6 seasons? That's a long time for Netflix. Yeah, I'm pretty sure BoJack has to be like one of Netflix's like OG originals. Are you on the 6th season? Oh. Okay. I will definitely look into it. I I've heard that BoJack does get dark. Like I think hashtag content warning suicidal warning. Okay. That's good. Dwight, I just realized that I'm gonna get to hopefully 50 followers someday. But like 10 of the 50 is going to be you. Because every time you've logged into Twitch, you've had to make a different profile. I'm gonna laugh if that, like, even above 5. Although maybe this is account number 2? So thanks for all the follows, man. Oh no, I wasn't a Twitch person either until Sword Squatch. Like I had a Twitch account for years. Like obviously with Critical Role, and then with them being free, that's how I wanted, you know, to support them, because it's basically free content. So why not follow them? And then Sword Squatch happened, and I was like, you know what? I kind of want to give it a try, because I think the biggest thing for me, the thing that I like about Twitch is like what we're doing right now is I'm doing shit and it's real time. So like I'm having a conversation with my viewers. And if people want to go up and, you know, watch it afterwards, it's on there for a little bit. If there's ones that I want to download and have someone edit, that's happening right now for my BioShock playthroughs. So I should be getting the finale edited here in the next few days that I can put up on YouTube, and people can watch it there if they miss it on here. And yeah, it like I feel so less stressed and more at ease and more comfortable being a content creator now for that reason. Never know till you try. And I gotta say, if you want to collab, like that's also a good way to, you know, get your start too. Dwight, you have a pretty infectious personality in a good way. You're such a cool dude. Like I think you would rock it, honestly. I think you could have a lot of fun with it. And correct me if I'm wrong, you just like meeting people. You know, it's a good way to meet people, interact with all sorts of different folk. Like I'm of the mind that if I just bring a smile to one person, like I've done what I've wanted to do. You know, that's the whole point in my streams. And I have more of a like a fundraising angle to it. Meaning shit. Like I want I want to raise money that my followers and I can like decide, hey, you know, this month where is our money going to? Which society, which place? Build a community around building up others. I'm not in it for the money. I'm in it to make smiles, to make people's day better. Yeah. I hope so. Like, the minute that it's not fun, I'll stop. For me, you know? And then creative wise, like, it's helping me paint more. Look at this. I'm painting. The pandemic really kind of, if I were to say that if the pandemic, because I've been fortunate enough not to lose anybody to COVID, if I were to say the pandemic took something from me, it was just painting, because I lost, what's the word? My drive. I lost my drive to paint, and I let that affect me, because I was just, you know, I got to the point like that. It was just like, what's the point? We're not going to be in person. And I literally went a year without painting. So here I am, picking up the pieces, trying again. Are you excited to play tomorrow? I'm pretty excited. This guy's got hairy feet. That's so funny. He's got little hairs coming out. Hell yeah, you get to be the golden lad. That's awesome. Off the top of your head, what is your Knowles intimidation check like? No, I mean, do you know what it is? Because you've made his character sheet. I'm curious if you remember what it is. I wonder if there's like a feat that helps with intimidation. Oh, fair. What are the two classes? Ooh, Rune Warrior. I definitely want to try that one out. Is cyanite remember or remind me? Is that the more like? That's not like the mushroomy one, right? Or is that the more like psychic one? Because it's psi. Gotcha. So it's like Matt Mercer's like Graviturgy wizard, but night flavored. Gotcha. I'm picking up what you're putting down. Yeah, I don't see why not. I could have sworn someone made a null race and released it, but I feel like we recently talked about that and I was wrong. You just want to do a Dragon Ball Z is what it sounds like, Dwight. As close to it gets without being... Oh my gosh. Or you could go the Artificer route and you can actually have a cannon. But that's too easy. Oh God, of course you do. All right, so talk to me about this Artificer. I'm curious. Oh man, you did. Let's see. I have to scroll up for a second. Tox is a name, and there'll be an armor and like Mordain. It will be something to a mix of Ferromancy and Venom. Oh wow. But also, no, they may not be there. Oh no. Insects, dude. Ugh. I just hit summer in Stardew Valley, and one of the effects that they have is the buzzing of bees. And yo did not realize it till the other night, but apparently buzzing of bees, my ears can't handle it. And I have that fear of holes thing. I just, all the no. Oh, damn. No, not the fear of bees. The fear of holes. It's called like tryptophobia or something like that. But I've just been learning more and more. Not a fan of insects at all. Like, it's like anti ASMR to my ears. Whatever is like the opposite of ASMR. That's what those kind of noises do to me. And their honeycombs do to my eyes and my mind, and I just want to pull my eyes out. All right. I think I'm gonna take a little break. Kel's made dinner, so I'm gonna take like a 10-minute break, go to the bathroom and stuff, but I'll be back. If you are gone by the time I get back, I wish you good luck with your homework. Hopefully you are doing your homework, sir. But yeah, I will be right back. Hello everyone. I'm back from my dinner break. Quick break. Let's fix this camera real quick. There we go. Back to painting. Oh God. Oh God, everything. Oh God. Oh goodness. Oh goodness. Oh, hey. Thank you, thank you. It's everything falls apart. Thank you for still being here. How is homework going? There we go. I decided to give the Bugbear a little bit more personality by, like, I wanted him to have the green cloth going down, but why not just have fun and have, like, green pants? Green can be his favorite color. Ooh. Gotcha. More of the creepy crawlies. Cool. Umber Hulks are fun too. have not. I've wanted to though. I mean, they're mostly an Underdark creature. I just haven't really had any characters, you know, traipsing around the Underdark. You guys were kind of the closest ones. But even then, it was more of a expedited traverse into it, if you will. It wasn't like a whole like arc. My only experience with the Umber Hulks are honestly what was in Critical Role. They are big creatures. They're very interesting. I mean, let's be real. My only experience with minis and knowing baddies are either with Monday Group, Inner Pals, my other like main campaign, and Critical Role. Like, as far as like mechanically have seen, oh, and Lone in D&D, like creatures played, etc., etc. Ah! No, I got his belt. Damn it. With the green. Okay. That sucks. I thumped my head into the mic. Fortunately, it's a pretty easy fix. Okay, yeah. Sounds good. So Jules, it's still happening. Wait, you're god damn it. You didn't answer my question earlier, so I was like, okay, maybe he doesn't want to answer, / he probably didn't hear me. I don't know, and I didn't want to like ask again because I wasn't sure. Yay! Okay, you missed me squeal, but like early on, I had asked you how was everything with Jules, and I'm not sure if you heard me or if you ignored me, but I assumed you ignored me and or didn't hear me, so I didn't want to ask again. So I squealed just now because you voluntarily said Jules, and I'm excited for you. It's been at least 6 months, right? Like summertime-ish? Is that when you guys started dating? May! I was like, I know it's been a while. Dude! Look at you. Get it, Dwight? Get it? Get it, Dwight? Get it? Get it? I'm looking for my bronze. That's such a good idea and super adorable. So, like, what kind of city does she live in? But is it like mountainous? Is it flat? What are we talking? What are we talking? Trees, desolate. Wow. Most of it was gone. Okay. Cool. I'm super happy for you, Dwight. Long distance is hard, and y'all haven't even met yet. That's awesome. That's the fun little adventure. Alright, base coats. Look at that. Base coat is done. And then I'm not sure if I've showed you the other one I was working on. Base coats are done with this gal. I'm trying to think, is it this guy? It's totally getting blocked. I see what's happening. Hold on. I'm going to be moving stuff real quick. I'm gonna try something. Stay with me. Actually, let's put this here just for a second. I think it helped with the glare. I think that's what it was on before. Oh, baby. Baby. Alright. Did that help? See better, maybe? Question mark? Nice. Base coat, base coat, base coat, base coat. Any favorites from the TCOE? You'll see more of like my tummy, but hey. TCOE. Thank you. I was like, what is... Oh, do I have a cat down here? Oh my gosh, I do. I'm surrounded. I just kicked a cat and it was Willow. Oops, sorry, Willow. Okay. No, not yet. I mean, yes, there's going to be definitely. I'm interested in playing a monk, and I think there were some interesting classes in the monk. In Tasha's Hot, I keep trying to call it Hideous Laughter, but it's called Cauldron of Everything. Oh yeah, I'm glad I moved this camera closer. But yeah, this is the gal I was working on. Oh yeah, I'm glad I was struggle bus all night. I'm gonna try this guy off. I'm using this fur. It's for wet brushing. Oh, I always keep calling it, yeah, I don't have the boots though. Tasha's Hideous Laughter. I keep wanting to call it that because she's the Tasha from Tasha's Hideous Laughter. So this is wet brushing. It's basically watered down pigment. So we're gonna bring out some of the details in her face. With big blots of ink. Bring out those furball wrinkles. and her double chin, it looks like. What's great about this is that you can basically push everything around. So you see, well, you probably can't see as much, but the ink filled her eyes, and I don't want that to happen, so I just stick the brush in that spot, and after drying it, and the brush like slurps it up. But basically, I always tell folks, you know, don't feel super bad or don't feel the need to get like every single nook and cranny, especially if you're planning on wet brushing, because the wet brush will actually cover all those spaces. It'll fill it in. Has this song been repeating? Because I feel like it has. Has it? Easy P. No, it's not. I'm just gonna skip songs. Has not been repeating. Was I wanted everything to be open hand gives you, but I don't. Well, I mean, I guess you could flavor it as something else. Too vanilla. That's because you're an extra anime boy. You want everything, including the sheen of the glasses. Ta-da! Oh. Ta-da! Now to do him. Well, actually, he's a step behind. I was just realizing this too. So he needs to be dry brushed. Yeah, basically. So the brush hasn't been dipped in water yet. So see this guy, and what I'm basically going to do is, so wet brushing. So you see all these ridges on his shoulder. Dry brushing will highlight the ridges, and then what wet brushing does is all of the nooks and crannies will highlight the nooks and crannies, like the shadows and stuff. So a good example of what I'll be doing with dry brushing is taking a dark green and dry brushing his butt, and you'll be starting to see all the different details on his butt. And I need to find a dark green. And I'll be using a dark brown for his leather to make it more worn looking. Honestly, either or, back and forth. But because once you put the wet brushing down, you have to let the mini dry, I tend to do wet brushing last, which is why this one is so much all the way done, because last week I got to the point of wet brushing and I stopped. So that's kind of, I'll probably be ending in about 15-ish minutes. I'm going to dry brush this guy. I won't be doing his features at all. Dry brushing, and then I'll be wet brushing it, and then I'll let the paint dry, and I'll pick this up next week. And because you never want to paint a mini that's wet, it'll mix with other paint. Also, in letting the paint dry, it actually lets it settle into its actual color, because it'll always be either brighter or darker than it actually is when it's wet. So yeah. And you can do as many layers, no layers. The rule of thumb is to go darkest to lightest. So there you go. Oh, I can see you going down the rabbit hole of that. I am going to... Where did my rhino go? My rhino paint. Oh, here it is. So, I already used that. I don't want to confuse it. So I'm basically going to do this first and then this to create a little cool effect. And then for the green, I'm probably going to do the darker first, followed by this green. And then I will finish it out by doing wet brushing. And what's great is that Citadel has started selling wet brushing and paint. Otherwise, all you have to do is take clean water and like an eyedropper or just your finger, and you put some paint down. You put a drop of water, mix it, and dilute it as much as you need to dilute it to get what you need to get. Oh yeah, Warhammer, dude, like it's such an investment in money too because it's war games and if you it's like Magic. You got to invest in a set. Like you're building your own deck, but you're building your own squadron and the minis are expensive, dude. So not really my jam though, honestly. I like being one character. All right. So here is the front. You see how bright it is? Bright brown. And then here's the back. And you can start seeing like the textures. Oh, dang it. That's just gonna happen. With the back, you can start seeing like the textures coming out. So the armor looks like it's worn. There's the comparison again, where it's just flat. And now your eyes are starting to see the shadows. It's pretty cool. One Piece has been around for a hot minute. I'm surprised you haven't watched it before. Look at his little legs now. Let's see if I can get the... Got texture around his wrappings. Alright, now I need to do... Where did the dark green go? There it is. See, that's already hard. Yes. Oh. Let's see his butt come alive. Thanks. Heck yeah. Yeah, so it helps break up the textures too, which I think is a big reason why I even chose a different color for his lower body. Just because sometimes Dungeons and Dragons can be like a lot of black, gray, and brown. Alright, I think I'm going to do... wet brushing again. Get some good textures going on this guy. I'm going to use black for the top and a green for the bottom. I should have like a green. Use this green for this bottom. The only anime I have ever yes, I do watch anime. Is there one fandom that I'm pulled towards or lean towards more? No, but I think if I were to say one show that has always captivated me that I'll go back and rewatch, at least like the first 100 to like 1 through 100 episodes, is Bleach. Bleach is always going to have a special place in my heart. I don't know. It was kind of my My anime awakening, if you want to throw that out there. But yeah, I never got into One Piece. I watched a bunch of random stuff in high school that I couldn't tell you now. I read a bunch of stuff that I couldn't tell you now. And that's wet brushing. You see how the ink settled into the crevices? Oh, okay. Give me 1 second and I'll finish up this wet brushing and all. It's such a good arc. It's funny because I keep trying to restart it, and I say keep, meaning like there will be a couple years that'll go by and I'll like go back to Bleach and I'll rewatch it. I probably watched it 4 times now, and every time I'll stop around 100. I think the furthest I've gone is like episode 20. And I couldn't even tell you where that falls. Walter. How's it going? Wait, so what's your favorite anime then, Dwight? Oh, you know, just painting some bugbears. I've been working on base coats on 2 of them. So got this gal right here. Next week I'll be working more on the details. Dude, I saw that. It's so good. Nice work. Seriously, I was blown away. And then this boy, I started out 0 with him tonight, and oh no, I just got a hair on it. No, that's the worst. I need to find a tweezer. And I'm doing details, and I'm probably like 10 or 15 minutes out from honestly ending this stream, but just because I want to get the got it. Get the wet brushes on there and then let it dry, and then next week I can come back and finish the details. I'm trying not to kill myself with my streams. I took a little bit of a holiday break, and also I think I burnt myself out in starting this and trying to, I was very like, when I start a stream, I'm gonna start and finish a mini, but I work full time, and also I want to play other games, so I can't, like, I want to paint on this channel, but I don't want it to be the end-all be-all. Oh, wait, is this what I wanted? Yes, this is what I painted her face with. But, oh, Tengen Toppa. I don't know that anime, Dwight. Dude, I mean, well deserved. I saw that they like recognized it. I was like, yes, get it, Walter. You worked so hard on it. And the diorama is fucking sweet. So wait, what would you say doing well? Oh shit, yeah, you're gonna start Mighty 9. Oh. That's exciting. Maybe Matt will start hitting you up for some work. Do you have like a fun spot in your house to put the diorama? I haven't gotten those minis yet, but I definitely will. I think, I know, Dwight, you asked for the Knolls, but I'm like, I thought I got Knoll minis, but I think after the Bugbears, like my big goal for this year is to do a dragon. And I think I want to start a dragon after this. I have a couple to choose from. For my birthday this year, one of my friends started 3D printing and he made me a dragon. So I think I want to paint that dragon. It's on top of my bookshelf, and I would have, because I'm so short, I would have to get a chair to grab it, or else I would grab it right now. But I have that one, and then I have a white dragon, but I didn't want to paint it white because I feel like, well, I don't know, maybe I'll stick with it, but because I know canonically dragons, like, oh, a white dragon has this thing on it, oh, and a black dragon has like this pronounce horn or what have you. But also a dragon's a dragon, and they all kind of look different and have different colors and blah 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 blah, maybe? I don't know. Hashtag not all dragons? Look like that? I don't know. Oh my goodness. Nice. Oh, look at that. Wait, Gurren Lagann. Okay, so like, is it a robot tea show? Is it like, what's the premise, I guess? Is it like high school kids? kind of show, because like Bleach is kind of like high school kids, but like supernatural powers. Wait, Dwight, what your roommate says, what is awesome? Human life. Oh. Okay. So it's like a post-apocalyptic setting, if you will. Well, thank you. Thanks, Caleb. Have I met Caleb, Dwight? Was he at your party, your birthday party? I feel like I met like your whole gang at your birthday party at the Cheesecake Factory when we took over the Cheesecake Factory that one time. Gosh, this guy is very fierce. I'm excited for when this stuff dries and I could start doing the details, like once all the base coats and everything on, is like my favorite part. Of mini painting. So Dwight, I don't know if you remember. Okay, so the green is kind of settling. I feel like the front of the pants are doing it. Okay, so the paint is settling. Let's see if we can get a good... So remember how bright the pants were? I did go over... It's also aesthetics. Like, there are some painters who are very particular and are more... I don't want to say, well, it is accurate, but they just, I think they handle their brush better. I don't have the greatest brush handling, but they'll take the wet brush and they'll see a crease and they'll specifically like dot that crease with the brush. And then that way they can target like whatever crease with the wet brush perfectly. Whereas I just go, I'll let it dry. And I don't know if, like, you know how during Easter you take a crayon over an egg and you can see the texture of the egg once you dip it in the dye? That's, to me, what dry brushing then wet brushing does. And then what I'll do is I'll let this dry, and because I like letting the paint kind of just wash over the entire mini. And then once it's all dry, I'll go back and I'll take like just actual paint. I won't wet brush, but then I'll start painting on the details like as actual highlights. So for example, like the dry brush brought more of the texture on you can kind of see the little dots showing up on his armor. That's the effect that I was talking about with the egg. And then the wet brushing, you know, the black paint settled in the crevices of his armor. I use brown as a second wet brush to kind of go over and change the tint. Remember how bright that original brown was? That's why it's kind of good to go with a lighter color first, and then you go dark, because it just, there's that contrast for eyes to catch. And then I'll probably, once this is all dry, I'll go back and take a lighter brown and start highlighting the areas that I want to highlight. And same thing with the green pants. I'll probably go back and maybe do another dry brush on these wrappings just because there's so much texture there. I don't have there's a specific word for the way that you can handle your brush that I'm not catching. But then yeah, I'll start just painting on the details. I'll do his eyes, I'll do his teeth, do his hair. But to me, for tonight, like, this is not bad for a first start. Yeah. So you do, okay, so if I were to break down, so yeah, you start with the base colors. You can, depending on the way that you feel comfortable, can either do wet brush, dry brush, whatever. And you can go back and forth really until you like what you see. There's no right or wrong way. Just know, you know, like a good example, like where you might quote unquote mess up. Like I always leave the eyes for last because if you keep trying a different color, obviously the paint will start layering and eventually it'll just be like a smooth face. That can be said. You can lose some of the details, but I would say for the most part, you'll be fine if you kind of go back and forth until you see what you like. That includes, like, you don't like one color, you can go back and go over and do a different color. But yeah, so you do wet brushing, dry brushing, you let it sit, and then details from there. So you can do different highlights, you can do line work. You'll see a lot of like the Warhammer, which I believe Walter does, if he's still here. Like there's a lot of line work that people do, and I'm not the best with line work. I like the smaller details where I can be like bloop, or like short lines. And then the fun part is like the base. It's all fun. What am I saying? And I've been becoming more creative with bases, and I'm not sure if I've showed you this owlbear. I did this owlbear. And you can buy different accessories to go with the bases. So this base came with the owlbear. I glued them on, and then there's these green tufts of fur that you can buy. So I just glued those on and around so it creates little grass. And then I also got this random pack that had like a bunch of skulls, spiders, just like other little things that you can glue to the base. And so I chose that little token. So it's actually like this little rock that I painted over, and I did details, and then I super glued it into the base. And people get really, really creative with their bases. I haven't really gotten too creative. But yeah. So for this guy, you know, this was really easy to just like paint over brown, and you see how like it's all this white stuff. That's all basically dry brushing. And I went for yeah, that's because I made it. But this is like a lot. It's funny. I haven't really seen oh, thank you, Caleb. I haven't really seen much in the way of D&D base supplies in physical stores. I'm sure there's lots of places online that you can buy stuff, but usually what I see is stuff for Warhammer, because I feel like the brick and mortar stores are more for Warhammer. But I mean, that doesn't mean you can't use it for your own bases, which is what I did with this guy here. But yeah, this texture. This is what I was talking about with the dry brushing. And I did a little bit of wet brushing, but I don't, like, if I were to choose like another probably lighter brown to do it, but I was actually pretty happy with the way this turned out, just because I like the white. Kind of reminds me of like a Nordic owlbear. I feel like I've shown you've seen this guy in person. Yeah. So this guy, another example of like the egg effect that I was talking about. So you see these little light parts right here. So I took a light blue and I dry brushed, right? And then I took a, this like cyan looking wet brush, and that's how I was able to get that kind of highlight so it's not as bright. And then a lot of this, at least the color change, like that's just, you know, going purple, painting a little bit, and then kind of painting over the color each time, layering it that way. This is probably my favorite mini that I've personally done to date. This was not on stream. Mostly because I had a lot of fun doing it. I was very proud of myself. I am proud of myself for doing this. This was kind of similar to the dragons, where I'm intimidated by I was intimidated by it because it's like an iconic mini. Also, this is probably one of the minis that sell at the most in brick and mortar stores or even online. So I was like, man, if I fuck this up, I don't know when I'm going to be able to see another beholder anytime soon. So yeah. Well, I think that's going to be it for me tonight. I'm going to let these guys... yeah, you do. I'm going to let these guys dry, and then when I come back next week, I'm going to do the details, and we should be done with the bugbears. So yeah, I feel pretty good about that. Thanks for hanging out with me. Do your homework. Finish your reading, even though the readings are getting shorter. I will see you tomorrow. Prince Obsidian War Sphinx on our adventures to see where our party will go. You guys are going to start some plane shifting. Very stoked. So yeah, rest well. Do your homework so you can go and play games with us tomorrow. And anyone else who's here, thanks so much for being here this Sunday night. I'm actually going to be switching games if you wanted to hang out with me. Did I want to do that? I mean, yeah. Oh, do you want to do the Eberron after? I can ask Kel. She's in the bedroom. Yeah, if we don't go too late, I mean, which we really don't. We only go to like 10, but if you want to, I'm down to play. That would be kind of fun. I am switching to Stardew Valley. So what I'm going to do real quick, because I'm kind of going to treat myself, I'm going to stop this stream and then restart it, because then it acts like a new video. That way, like, I'm sitting at like 3 hours and 19 minutes. So to give me a little bit of a break. And that way I also show up stream wise. There's a filter that you can do that says like stream recently started. So people that don't want to like jump in the middle of a stream, because if I switch to Stardew Valley right now, they'll be like, oh, I don't want to, jump into a stream that's been going for 3.5 hours. I want to start from the beginning with someone. So that's what I'm going to do. But if you want to stay around and just, hey, be nice. Cats on the side fighting. And hang out and watch you play, you're totally welcome to do that. Otherwise, those that were staying around and watching me paint, hope and gaming's not your thing, that's quite all right. It's kind of my relaxed thing, so I'm going to do that right now. Everybody, have a good night, and we'll see you soonish if you're going to follow me. If not, see you next Sunday. Bye, everyone.